Fuck it, we'll do it live. Welcome to our DVD commentary. This is
SABLE,
me and Jimmy.
fABLE.
We're gonna do walk through SABLE, fABLE. We were just discussing. I was in my 30s when we started this shit.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah.
5 years later, you're in your 40s.
People were confused about this being a 4-track EP. It's really just the intro.
Oh.
I think Jag was like, maybe just give that its own track. It's really
Feedback
a 3-song
wasn't
EP.
a song, yeah.
Yeah.
When did you? I remember you sending me the original demo for this during
Of
COVID.
this?
Yeah. When did you start it?
It was like early. It was early COVID, and it was like, you know, by myself, and like it was like the first thing I did. You know, when it was like a month in by myself in the woods.
Right.
Because April Base was under renovation or whatever, and I had the little Maple Place studio down the hill, and yeah, it was just like, you know, like everyone was gulping at that moment in time, and I was talked to Phil on the phone, Phil Cook, and he was just like, dude, it's hard to get better when, you know, things behind things. But yeah, I just like, I made the little riff, and it's funny, it was like most of the songs, they kind of like come out and they're like done right away, kind of, but then we worked them for 5 years too.
Yeah.
But
What guitar did you do it on? Do you remember?
It's a Gretsch Lady Princess, or just Princess maybe. Maybe. But they were like pink guitars they made for gals in the 70s to play, because you have to be pink.
Of course.
But this one I got in Minneapolis, and it was like all like they took all the pink off it, but it did have a cool sound, and it's like, I think it's pitched up.
Yeah,
See,
I remember
it has that like
there's
kind
a
of
little
fake
like sound shift.
Yeah,
I think it was
sound.
like +5 or something.
Oh, and then like
Wait, so I forget how set up was Maple Place before COVID, or was it at all?
No, I mean, that was the weird thing, is that April Bay, the studio was going to go under renovation, and then like it was, I just like built a little barn.
Yeah.
And it was sounded like shit in there, but it was so vibey. It was like the garage door had a screen on it, so you're basically just like outside the whole time. It was pretty dialed. It was pretty dialed.
It was
I mean,
perfect.
it was just like, and I kind of like, you know, Messina helped, but it was, I always kind of did it on my own, and it was kind of fun to do that. But
it's crazy just that space, though. I feel like, obviously, there's like, went further back with Peaceful Love, but that space is like where so much of this album started. It's like, I actually didn't think about how that was kind of the like fertile ground.
It was like where
seeds,
most of the shit started, when Eli came out. And then there was like the horses next door, and it's just like we're chilling with horses, and just like, shit was so good.
I know, I remember just like seeing, from a time we were there in summer, just us having the garage door just open, there's the fire pit, and just rolling hills and horses. Like, that was amazing.
I miss it down there.
I know.
But it didn't sound great, but it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I remember you sending through the demo of that, and like I did a version putting drums to it, which was just like, you know, obviously not right in hindsight.
What did they go like?
It was just some like
like
weird me type rhythm. It was like, you know, no 2 and 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love just the little, what was it? Was it a DFAM? The little.
Yeah, the DFAM.
Yeah.
Jen Wasner got me into that thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, I've had it out in the studio for this, you know, all these years.
Yeah.
And I've only ever used it. The first time I plugged it in, I just went toot, 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 and it was like that little gallopy beat that plays in that. Yeah. And I've never gotten anything out of it since, you know.
That's, I mean, you got your money's worth.
Yeah.
That's all it needs.
Yeah.
And that too, I think, was that coming through a computer speaker too? Because I remember how stuff was set up, and they were just like not precious at all in the best way.
Yeah, it was not precious. It was just coming out of like literally like a Logitech speaker, because that's like all I had or something.
Or the big clear ones. Or whatever.
And like a microphone vaguely pointed at the speaker. Yeah. Because I wanted to have everything like, you know, I hate going into a studio and it's like, if it has a key, I want to hear it. You know?
Totally, just immediately.
But yeah, and it came together pretty good.
So fun. I remembered a couple like finishing-ish touches, but we weren't even really thinking about steel on it, but when we were tracking Greg in LA, just putting pedal steel on maybe like Walk Home or something, I was like, oh, I feel like you should just try TBT, and it was just so perfect and so right. And I just remember him like just in one of those things where you just like hit in like 1-2 takes, like good.
Oh man,
it's just what it is.
I can't believe I didn't. I remember I was like, I don't think we need steel on it, and you were like, well, okay. And you had done the initial tracking. I wasn't even there, which shows you how much trust I have in you. I was like, I've never definitely done that before. But Greg Leese is my favorite. Also like Trevor, he layered so much of his flute trumpet, which is just, he's kind of mastered playing his trumpet without his Trevor Hagen, this is for the folks at home, but he just like plays it without his mouthpiece, and it gives it this airy thing. It's like that, it's that thing at the beginning of the song you kind of hear. It's like, it just sounds like wind or whatever, but we layered that forever.
But it's literally a trumpet without the mouthpiece.
Yeah,
so I didn't
and he just like got so good with his embouchure over the years to do that.
Wow.
And then I remember, I mean, we probably worked on what we wanted, the like kind of little solo in the middle to sound like for 3 years. He would come over to Maple Place, and we'd put more layers on it. And I think eventually there's like 15 of him doing, and we edited it together. And then in the middle, the and we just like wanted it to be perfect. And like we redid it again like 2 years later, you know?
Yeah.
It was fun.
I feel like a big thing too, I just remember like once we like, you know, took it up the hill to April Base, was just all the vocal like massaging the low, because you had like so many different like beautiful harmonies you were putting down. There's one insane low you hit. And I feel like that was, to me, like that was the most fun part, was just like getting all the balance just perfect, where the whole thing, there's so much like in there, but there's not at the same time.
Yeah, I guess there's not a lot of like the kind of thing. I've done a lot of the big vocal layering and stuff, but on this song, it kind of needed that gang sound to be kind of like the I'm going crazy inside my head vibe.
But it's still so like, you're not even conscious of that hearing. It's so, I don't know, just like masterfully embroidered in there, you know. I love that song so much.
Yeah, it's good. Did you listen to Space Side?
Run Space Side.
Well, we've kind of talked about it a couple times out in public, but we worked on the sound of the guitar. Like, I wrote the song in Key West. It was on a day I was feeling particularly guilty and just like reckoning. It was during like, so after a year of living by myself in COVID, I like went down to Key West. You know that story. Wrote the song mostly in a day, and BJ helped. The first time I got COVID actually is when I left Key West and came out here.
Right, I remember seeing you.
I'm gonna give LA a try, and then I just got you saw me and I was like,
you in bed.
It's like, I don't think you should be in here. But BJ helped chop the kind of like arrangement of like just cutting out this other part that I used to have in the song.
Yeah, I love just like just how simple this song is, obviously, and it's so bare and raw, but what just an amazing journey it was getting it there, and like how many different attempts like you had done, but then we did together, and I don't know, all that. It just goes to show with like making a version of something like the one, it's just the one, and like sometimes you like have it instantly, and sometimes it's still out there.
Oh man, it took so many tries and so many different setups.
Yeah, different rooms.
We were like in the kitchen for a while, and we were like, Andre, you can't cook food for a while.
And didn't you originally try it in the library? Like before
in the library room, and like, oh man, and I was like, because the original phone recording was so just good, you know, like really chasing the demo. But then we did figure it out, and the story we've said on the BBC thing, but we got the two sides of the guitar, you know, picked up so that in your ears it does do the like left and right finger picking thing, which it just was so satisfying.
That's amazing.
And then, you know, Rob Moose has always done so much on all the albums and done these big arrangements, but this was so fun because he was just, I was trying to, we were like trying to get him to do Cajun Fiddleman, you know, and that's not his usual bag, but I think it really moved both of us to hear him play like that. You know?
And just I think too, where he's just so good at building out arrangements, and then for him to kind of have to like improvise like right there with everyone was so fun. I feel like there's certain moments like that where you like are forced to just like rely on what you have in the moment, and that's when you get like the real you or something. You know what I mean? And it's just like the most authentic just best thing comes out, you know?
Yeah.
You can't like hide behind anything. And he just, I mean, that fiddle part's fucking insane.
Well, I always wanted to. Well, because we played it a couple times live, and Lewis did the saxophone, and we recorded a version with that. And it was so obviously he's my favorite musician on the planet.
Yeah,
but
literally no one better.
But then I was like, it just needs to be like fiddly.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't we just actually have Moose do it? But I love the thing you did where it was like the fiddle track. He he was going like boom, boom, boom.
Oh yeah.
But like you actually put in an invisible
the
snare drum or a kick drum that you don't actually hear, that was kind of like side chaining it, so that it really like gives it that extra like.
Yeah, because I think we wanted to like emphasize the backbeat a bit, but in a way you like feel more than hear.
Yeah.
And we just I remember like bespoke sidechain kick track going through, finding the backbeat just along with your guitar.
Oh yeah, you just pasted it in because it wasn't to a click or anything.
Yeah, because it's not to a click, and then just like sidechaining everything to that, and just has the slightest like.
Yeah.
When it's so cool doing things like that. But I mean, so much of that song is just like the kind of raw capture we did, and just all the way like Ian mic'd it up and everything, and Peyton the head way up high.
Yeah, it's remiking the songs into the room and getting all that
huge.
BJ did that on this next song to kind of like shape the vocal sound of award season.
I think that's like a really amazing thing about Space Side and award season. Obviously it comes up throughout the rest of the record, but how the physical like place of April Base is just it's just in all these songs. Like Space Side, just that live room is just in it. I think like the plate there is in it, the chambers in it, like the place is just there, which I think is incredible.
We used the echo chamber a lot.
Yeah.
It was spooky to go actually in there.
Yeah.
I think I was in there once and like just, I don't know, and then somebody would like, because there's a big speaker in there, and somebody like started blasting music, and I'd never been more scared. It's like a pitch dark room. I was like looking for something. I don't know. Yeah. It's really weird when you get blasted like that. Chamber. But this vocal sound is like, because the original idea was just all fully a cappella. Yeah. And that was when like me and BJ were just messing around, but like he put the vocal back in the room, even on a delay, to give it that kind of natural like slap back
reflection. Yeah.
But then we just slowly added things. And
did you like maybe talk about how with this song, it being kind of like an a cappella song, like did you start it like with any chords or anything, or you just literally like, I have this melody and lyric?
Yeah, I mean was it the last song? But it was the last song besides From. Right. The second to last song I wrote. And it was just one of those things where I just like had the melody in my head, and I could kind of hear it in my head, and I don't really have a lot of that gift or whatever, and I can't like hear a lot in my head, but this melody was just in my head, and I just wrote pages and pages and pages of stanzas, because I was in a tough spot. I was just going through this really tough zone, and I was in Minneapolis a lot during it. I was walking Lake of the Isles just over and over and over again, just trying to, because I'm really bad with remembering my lyrics, but like I wanted the lyrics to like really arrive, so I actually remember just walking, trying to get them memorized. Yeah. Because I wanted them to be something I could recall. Right. Because none of my other lyrics are recallable at all.
Yeah, like, you need the prompter.
Yeah, it's a super teleprompter zone.
I love how this came together with just the like starting, or instrumentally, if you could even call that, just with the drone, and again like that, just from the Mammoth. Mm-hmm. And like for people at home, they're at April Base, there's a massive metal mammoth sculpture with a mic hanging from it that just picks up on like the forest, the bugs, birds, all that. Yeah. And just how we just recorded that and then found a note in it. Yeah. And then that's just like the drone for the song to sing along to.
It's kind of the drone it's the thing that stitches the two parts of the album together. Yeah. We have to talk about Lewis's
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be a Bon Iver album without like a Michael Lewis saxophone solo. But I mean, all credit to him. Like I knew I wanted a little spot. Like I wanted to get Lewis on there somehow, and like I didn't really know if we needed a bridge or what. But when it gets to this little part, he he just went out into the barn and the B3 organ was out there.
Yeah.
And he just wrote all those. I was like, Lewis, just write music that you want to blow over. You know?
Yeah.
And so he's out there just for fucking hours, just doing the perfect like church diminished like rising whatever thing. And you know, he likes doing like one take of a solo. I was like, but there's gonna be like 15 of you, or I think there's actually just 6 of him, and I just edited it to sound good because it is like that cool moment where he kind of the clouds part or whatever.
Totally.
He kind of is there, but he's just, there's nothing like his sound.
Oh my God. I mean, he's just the best. Just sax, organ, bass.
Yeah.
It's intimidating.
I did add the little slides in the back. Yeah, it's actually when he toots that horn, I get emotional like every single time.
It's fucked
and I've
up.
heard him play just thousands of times now. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, he's unreal.
But yeah, I think we one of the reasons we wanted to do the EP by itself is just it was so heavy. Like this song is like, I couldn't imagine like putting this album out and like having like check out award season and then the rest of the album. It's like this song just kind of has to, you have to take a beat. I think.
Totally.
I just didn't want to tire people out too much. I mean.
No, I remember us listening kind of before we'd come to like the separate but together, you know, like split of the album, just listening to the songs all mixed together. And there's something where it was just like so much to ingest. But I personally was like so in love with it. I'm like, man, I just like want it all. But I credit you just so much for like having that insight and just like listening to that and keeping them like their own things, just giving them their own space because they hit so much harder, you know, than if they were kind of like, I don't even know what, I mean, I think I remember it too, us just like doing those drives and there was like no track list that like really worked with them all together.
I was tired by the end.
Yeah.
You know, and like now that it works together as a thing, but I hope people like know to like choose your own adventure kind of.
Totally.
Well, obviously they do.
But in hindsight, I'm like, how the hell could it ever have been
the full thing?
Yeah. There's just no track list in my mind that makes like any sense that isn't that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know.
Same. I was like, we need some good harmonies, and you were like, I know.
Oh my God, yeah.
Carter
Faith, yeah.
And like I've never got to meet her, but like shout out to her.
She just bodied this.
She bodied it. I mean, like.
I remember she like talking to her on the phone. She was like, oh my God, like I'm, you know, so happy to do this. Like I think she was going on tour the next day, and just like banged out all those harmonies in one night. And sent him, she's like, oh, like, sorry, like, I hope you guys like it. Like, none of it's like really edited or like tuned or anything like that. And it was just literally the most like immaculate, pristine, just perfect country harmonies. And I was like, nuts.
It's I like how we kind of like bring her in and out at the end.
It's so hard to explain, and the facts are strange.
Oh yeah, the sample in there.
Yeah. Oh, talk about that.
That's Well, I've talked about Phil Cook now twice, but my guy Phil Cook, best friend, and he's the guy that was telling me things behind things, and life is hard to repair. But he did a song, this great record, Southland Mission, unbelievable. He taught me how to play music, Phil.
Wow. Yeah.
But he does a song with Amelia Meath from Sylvanesso, and that's her little voice from that song. Yeah, I like how that sample like works in the song. It kind of gives it a little bit of haunting. Like her voice is kind of like the backbeat for parts. And
and that again, that's just like one of your many like masterful OP1 fucking chops. And I mean, it's crazy how well it fits in there so well too. Where you're like, it doesn't even feel like a sample. It's just like the perfect.
It's like part of the song.
And there's just so many good. I just remember like the couple passes you did on guitar over that we like verbed out and stuff. I don't know. So it's funny, like so much of that song, I feel like in finishing it, we did kind of stitch it together like, oh, maybe this section needs to be a third of the second shorter. But like it just kind of, everything seemed to just come onto it like so naturally.
Oh, we did a whole nother version.
Yeah.
Remember
the car version?
The car version.
I listened to it.
That's when you know you're in the weeds making a record. It's like, no.
Yeah, talk about it.
And I forgot about it till right now, where like we all got in the car,
Yeah.
and like Ian Gold's in the back with like Pro Tools, and we've got my phone mic going,
Yeah.
and
And the Tesla mic.
and the Tesla mic, and I was, because I had, whatever, I was driving one day, and I like was trying the microphone, or like trying to sing the song, see if I could do a better version with, because we rewrote the lyrics.
Yeah.
Of course, we came back to the original kind of vibe, but yeah, we drove around for like hours, and it's just me and 3 grown men while I'm driving.
I remember Asher driving, you just directing, you being like,
oh yeah, he drove, and then so I'm singing the song, and I'm also like, slow down. It's like wanted the, oh, it was so ridiculous. I wanted like the right hum or speed or whatever.
yeah. But it was that, I listened to it the other day actually. It is really sick.
Is it? We should.
But I kind of wonder if it's one of those things, if it's like only cool to us.
Yeah.
If like you actually heard it, you'd be like, what is this?
Ryan Olsen was like, that's the only version.
Really?
Yeah, you got.
I mean, it's sick. But like, well, there was the one of like just straight recording it a cappella, and then I remember we tried one that was like, that was the vocal, and then putting the drone and everything to it. Like, do you remember that? Like,
oh my
me and Ian just like re-chopping the whole thing. It was kind of insane. I mean, none of them were like bad, but it's funny how it's like obviously the right one is one that came together.
The next tune, the beginning of Fable, is a good kind of short story. It's like, it was because like the beginning of COVID, Corona-19, was, or the pandemic is what they say, not Corona-19, was like, you and I were just like texting music back and forth constantly. We made Please Don't Live in Fear, where we sampled Alabaster, beautiful, the most beautiful guy, spirit in the world. But so we were making stuff. We put that song out, and we did Cake, ate up all their cake. So we were sending back and stuff. It was all like over email. Yeah. And so we were just kind of in the flow, and during the same time, you sent me, you and Eli, who I'd never met to that point, but it is all over this record.
Yeah.
The snippet of Short Story, and I was just like, you just like, this is the opening to an album.
I remember you saying, and I remember you being like, I don't know like what album, when, whatever, but like this is the start of an
I was probably
album.
being superstitious.
Yeah, it was just so, I mean, it's just classic Eli, and it's so fucking good. And I remember, and I mean, that had a really cool like evolution too, because I remember it was just that, and sending you that, and then you sang something and like, messed with it a bit, and there were kind of drums to it, and we just had that like 2-minute version whenever, and then we kind of like remapped it and redid, like so much of we like kind of remade the skeleton or figured that out.
I like sang over whatever you sent me, which I think was maybe 1 minute and 12 seconds or something, and then like it's sort of hard to remember because there's so many versions, but the we put it through some, we'll call it generative music messing things, and it just to see what it spit back, and it spit back super weird, bizarre, unusable shit, but like every once in a while it would like show us a new thing. Remember, we had all these versions of like fake versions of my voice singing like words that were typed into a computer or something, and then we got all these versions, and we kind of like got them out. I remember we got out a big
oh my god,
poster board,
totally
and we like made a map of all of our favorite versions, and we like literally
our favorite moments
and like what order we wanted to go to. I mean, then and I feel like there's no Jimmy drums on Sable, the first 3 songs, but I love that's the drop.
I mean, it was so fun. I feel like too, I had so much fun doing with that, is that song too is just off the grid. There's no grid.
There's no grid.
Yeah. And there's something about like programming drums, like just again on like pure feeling, biggest like pain in the ass, that is so fun. Yeah. Because you're just operating in like milliseconds, and like there's no like, it's just a bespoke groove.
Oh yeah, I remember. That was the funnest. But it's so sad.
Yeah.
Sean Carey, Casey Hill. Casey crushed it. I mean, we did a bunch of stuff with Casey over the pandemic. I guess we put her vocals on really late in the game at your house.
Yeah, kind of as if we were almost finishing up there.
Yeah. That's all Jen Wasner and Sean Carey, and Jacob Collier did so much on this too.
Right,
but
yeah.
we were it was already kind of like done.
Yeah.
But I want to show people the version with all his stuff because he sent back, of course, like 900 tracks.
Yeah.
And it was all just so incredible. But we were just kind of already done at that point. But I had sent him the record, and he just didn't even. I don't even know if he asked. You know, or no, we were talking about doing the January Ain't the Whole World.
Yeah.
Him and I were talking about him like having one of his audiences sing that.
Oh, right.
But then it was like, I don't know, we didn't have time or.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to him. The reason I reached out to him is I wanted him to do an arrangement.
Yeah.
For the From vocals.
I remember.
I like how Casey and Sean and I's vocals match.
It's all so perfect.
Matt
Do you remember
Jacobs' a
like
genius.
finishing with that, which was like, I feel like it was like both the amazing part and like actually the really hard part in finishing is it's the nugget it started with was so fucking beautiful and it just became like increasingly beautiful and everything that, you know, we added either in harmonies or like Jacob doing stuff or just like even different stuff you played on, it was all like so gorgeous that like you like started to like lose like what to like listen to. I remember when we were like finishing it proper, like, you know, last summer and just kind of just being like, okay, what can we take away? What can we take away?
You were
and
like,
then it
you kept
actually
saying,
like opened back up.
Yeah.
From doing that.
You were like, we need to take stuff away because we kept adding and adding and adding, but you were right.
Because everything just sounded though like so good. Well,
man.
like you couldn't like make it.
We could
sound,
totally just put out a version where it's just a Jacob stuff and like my vocals, and it would be a totally different bonkers thing. I mean, he's so incredibly talented.
That's my other like favorite thing with that song. Actually, I'm just remembering is the start of it. I think it was on The Prophet, the switching between patches, like yeah.
It was like one of the classic things. We were like trying to make the intro to that to the album, and we were like, it was doing some weird thing when we switched through. And
I love that with you. It's stuff like that. You're just like, why? Sometimes I just wouldn't even think like, oh, you know, well, don't record that. It's not. There's something wrong with the patch, and you're like, no, record that. I also remember too with that. I remember like both Ian and I just being in awe of you, like. And how like some bass and stuff like I'd put down in mine, just like synth bass and like that kind of stuff. You just were like editing it in this insanely intuitive way at the end, which I just can't even remember what it sounded like before, but I remember just like the way you were hearing it blew my mind and just like made that, you know, it just ends in such a perfect way where that bass comes back in, like just for half a second.
I do.
It's so right.
I do love Pro Tools editing. I mean, it's like part of the songwriting process for me. I mean, I just watched Ryan do it enough times where he was so lawless. Like when we did the Gangs record and just watching him just like, all right, let me sit down, and he just goes in there and is just like blindly cutting things out. And like,
that's sick.
And I think I learned so much from him, and I think that shows up a lot.
Yeah.
The end of Short Story.
Yeah, run it.
Oh man, I was like,
crazy.
Rob, how do we get from this key to this key? Because I know I wanted everything in Peaceful Love to be the next song, and we just kind of like did it like as we went. He's like, well, you do this note, and you can modulate like this. Oh, and that's Alan
Oh yeah.
playing steel. He played some lap steel. There's some of the most gorgeous little moments in Short Story. His like lap steel with this
Cinematic,
you know, Rob does that thing. You know, he's a humble guy, but he's like, you know, when he did that, he was like, you know, he winked at me. He was like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, this is the first song we did.
Yeah.
November 2019.
It's crazy, like this kind of kicked it all off without us even knowing.
Yeah.
And how that can happen with records, I think is so cool.
Yeah.
Like there's that thing you make where you're like, oh wow, we love this, have no idea what it's for.
Yeah.
And then like you
I
look
was
back
afraid.
a couple years
I was
later.
afraid that I was like, oh shit, there's going to be another Bon Iver album. I have to do this all over again.
Really?
Yeah, because it was just so joyful. I knew, you know.
Yeah.
It took so long for there even to be a concept of a record, but I was like, I know that this is something. But I mean, it was one of those things where like I played the chords, BJ chopped it up, you came over, added the backbeat.
Yeah.
And we worked on it for years, but the fact that we got Greg Leese playing a pedal steel solo on like a song that played on some radio stations in the United States.
It's nuts.
One of my favorite things. And the John Wilson video is like the nicest touch.
Incredible.
But this is, I remember when you did these drums.
Yeah.
It just, a lot of your drums remind me about how Sean Carey plays the drums.
Wow.
You know,
It's the
and
biggest
like nobody does it
compliment. I
better
love
than you. Your breaks and there's like, it's just a sound. You know, it's Jimmy Stack.
I love that, man. Thank you. Ugh.
Yeah. It was just one of those things where it was like when it just like that chorus just came out because I was feeling so good that day.
Yeah. I know. I think we did it in like early evening or something.
It was like afternoon.
Yeah.
There's some joints going around.
Yeah.
DJ had that nice view
Yeah.
up on like off of Mulholland or whatever.
There was some good like 2% THC.
Yeah, it was like exactly really low
Yeah.
THC
Consumer
J's going
grade.
around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how so much of with this song too. I mean, we obviously did keep working on it and a lot did evolve, but
It was
so
kind
much
of
was
done that
there.
day in
Yeah.
November 2019.
Yeah.
And then like it just had to hold onto it and like make sure it didn't get away from us.
Yeah.
And that's Ben Lester also played some
Yeah.
steel on it, so that's Benny's. Ben Lester's our friend from Eau Claire. He's got that little moment. That's Ben. Oh, and Rob, and I was like, Rob, I don't want to do strings on this. The song's perfect as is. He's like, we're doing, you know,
Yeah,
we're gonna
it
try
needs
it,
strings,
you know,
yeah.
and it just makes it feel that much more like.
Totally. And I feel like I
Classic.
remember we originally only had strings maybe in the second chorus, I want to say, from there on out. But there's something about how much feeling inside, yeah, insane Lee's solo. But like there, you know, so much of the song was like DI guitar, like drum machines straight in, drums
Yeah.
I like chopped up on my
Yeah.
computer, like super digital keyboard,
Yeah.
obviously. It was just like all this really like DI, like Apollo
Yeah.
sound. And then Rob Strings just like brought that humanity
Yeah,
to it
yeah,
or something.
totally.
I mean, it was there in the song, like in the texture of it.
Yeah. So yeah, Eli. This is one of
man,
those things
Summer
where you
22.
you made this little backbeat and it just was like. I just went outside and like yelled, "Walk home!" I just whatever's
Yeah.
in my heart at the
Yeah.
moment, and like walked out and just yelled it in like whatever key was the loudest in
Yeah.
the woods, because I was just like, I gotta chop that, and then I found it right in the key
Yeah.
that you would started the beat on, because it was just like one of those things where it's like you just had that beat, and I was like, this is something.
It was
And then
so fun.
That was
to
when Eli
listen.
Teflon was there, and we sat and wrote these chords for a lot of hours, but.
Yeah. I feel like we had that, we kind of found like the head vibe pretty quick of like the little drone, the
Yeah.
drums, the chop, and like those like first 2 or 3 chords or whatever. But then I remember at the chorus, like I was just in awe of you and Eli, like really. I remember like you were just like guiding him crazy, and I was just like, how the hell is he like keeping up with Justin right now? And just like the alchemy between you two is like incredible. And just banging out the chorus.
It's no, I mean, we'll get to There's a Rhythm later, but it's funny. It's my favorite Bond song, but it's like, he just has my number. I remember I'll always think about Lewis. I ended up replaying the bass on the CS50,
Right. Yeah.
but it was all inspired by Lewis's just insane pocket.
Ugh.
But that's the one bass thing we kept right there. There's a little bass squeak.
Yeah.
That's like Lewis is credited as electric bass for this little.
I remember when you put down this CS50 bass line, that just like blowing my fucking mind, because we had like the cool, again, groove of like the drums, the keys, the sample, and then just when you're like, oh, I have a bass idea, and you played this in Maple Plays, just again like through an amp, like probably not mic'd very well, and I was just like, whoa, like that's what you were hearing? That is sick. That just
it
blew
really
my
was
fucking
exactly. I
mind.
was like, I felt very lucky that I actually played what I wanted to hear for once.
Yeah.
It usually takes me a long time to get it right.
I mean, that I feel like you hit it immediately.
Yeah. We did this thing, the mic army, where we just set up all like 10 microphones.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you go to a studio and you're just like, well, there's just the microphone that we have. It's like, I
Right.
think you have more.
Right.
But we just put them all up, and so every song, you know, we'd just go to each one and see what was working in that for my voice in that one particular song or whatever. And this one was, it was the surprising. It was like, wasn't it the C37 or something?
Yeah, I think but it was like at the verses only, because I remember it was like an EV at the chorus. You remember we did it in a
right.
different key,
Oh, the
so you
EV
could sing it.
666.
Yeah, I remember you saying, because the chorus was kind of hard for you to hit in the key, and I remember you saying like, oh, if I knew I had like a tour coming up in 6 months, I would be like, fuck, how am I gonna sing this live? And like there was something that I thought was amazing. It was like liberating creatively for you, like knowing you didn't have to like tour it in 6 months or
Yeah.
less or whatever.
Yeah.
That we could record the chorus in a different key and like repitch it, and I don't know. I mean, I just remember you like that kind of opening it up for you, which was I thought was really amazing. Just being free.
It
like
was
that.
such a hard song to sing, and it was so kind of classic, and there was no, no doubling of vocals or anything.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask somebody like Adele to sing the second verse, and there's actually a version popping around with Ethan Gruska singing the second verse, which is awesome. But you did encourage me to get there. I'm glad you did, but ultimately it would be sweet to hear how she would wrangle it.
Love that song so much.
This is pretty fun. Another good example of just like I didn't write any of these chords or anything. This just came straight from a sample from Sam, and it was somewhat unchanged. Although it took us a good 2 years to figure out how to supply the oxygen and like support it with all the things.
Totally.
But that again, it was like as soon as I got that demo sent to me, I just knew the melody.
Yeah,
It was just
incredible.
like there, when it's.
Dijon and Waz.
Yeah, had to get the homies on there. But up until this point, I don't know if we added much. Maybe I think there's a little Eli.
Yeah,
From how
some
the
stuff
demo
was like layered.
Yeah.
And I remember we did actually. I think we transcribed the chords a bit, and I put them on some like MIDI keyboards and stuff, just to kind of like give it a little more weight. My favorite part.
One of the more creatively successful songs, I think.
Totally.
I know, it's just so fun. Classic Jimmy drums that no 2 and 4 yet. It's just knocking super hard.
That's right.
I remember that blew my mind.
I know. It was funny. I remember doing that because I had the session and stuff in LA and was like working on the drums, and it was like pouring over these like really like tasteful whatever fucking drums, and it was just like not it. And then I remember like actually getting to April Bass that time and just being like, fuck that, let me just redo some of these drums in like 2 minutes. And it's always like those things that you do where you're like, oh, there it is. That's the thing. Again, like where you just have to kind of like rely on like being in just in the moment, and like all you got is like your own shit to rely on, and just kind of like bang it out. You can't like freak out over some EQ or whatever.
Oh yeah, we should tell it. Well, I mean, I've told the story a number of times, but the whole getting Waz to sing on it, because I was like, I want to try to get Bonnie Raitt on there, and I want her to play a slide solo, because I always hear what's on there.
Yeah.
But then Waz crushed it too hard.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to kind of mimic, do my best Bonnie Raitt, and it was so fun, just like I don't know, I feel like there's so many great classic slide solos, and I wanted to like, not beat it, but like,
your own,
but like, like try to make the best one we could make.
Yeah.
But it was so fun. We just had the shit so loud. The amps
In
were
the
just
live room,
cranked.
Overstayer cranked too.
Yeah. It's just a good mood. There's no mood like this.
No, I remember too. I feel like just in the process, I felt like, okay, we're like really cracking into something here. Because I remember we did, those new drums and stuff, but then also you just came in, you had the idea for the Prophet 600 bass and just came in ripping on that. And,
right.
And I was like, then we were eating some like delicious lunch, and I remember you just like having to peace out early to get back in the room, and I remember just walking in there and you just had it blasting.
It was as loud as it
from
went.
the mains, just rocking out, and I was like, okay, we're cooking. We are fucking cooking.
Yeah.
This sounds insane. Like
I
nothing
forgot
else.
about adding this Prophet bass. Shout out Prophet 600, my favorite synth
The
ever.
best.
I remember it was really hard to cut out all of Dijon's improvs at the end,
good.
because it was really hard to cut them down.
Dude, another version of that we need to do or release or like show some of is just the arpeggi
Oh my god.
version with Corey.
Okay, so like the best musician in LA probably is Corey Henry, and we went over. We'll tell the story when we get there. I'll be there too. He plays this instrument called the arpeggi, and Mono Neon was there, and it was like the coolest session of all time. Just hanging out, smoking weed in Corey's little studio, and there was a point where we were just kind of learning the chords, and then they just started playing, and Corey playing arpeggio, and Mono's playing crazy bass, and I'm just kind of singing the song, but it's in a totally weird tempo and like feel. Yeah, it was really.
That was amazing. I feel like the arpeggio was a really hard thing to pare down in there. Where there's so much like happening in there, and then the arpeggio was so good, but it was like, fuck, how do we like preserve any of this? And like, I don't know, we kind of had to like go one way or the other.
And then we had to do it again, so there's some old and some new. That's the texture of that stuff makes it kind of feel, again, kind of brings like that acoustic feeling to it.
Yeah. Oh god, I love that song.
This is the last one we did. We did all in LA from the jump. It was like probably the only one we did all in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I was listening to so much Bonnie.
Yeah.
And I thought that the album needed this like mid-tempo thing.
Yeah.
So we just kind of like, was that one of those rare things where like, I knew we need this kind of tempo and we're gonna start.
Right.
But me and Asher just started it one night, and then you came over and.
Yeah, I remember we kind of like figured out the arrangement and some lyrics and shit. And then this lick of Mike's was from like a different demo. You guys.
Yeah,
done,
we were
right?
I've jammed over at Mike's for a while one day, and I was just like, we need like a head, and I was like, I remember this one thing he played in this one jam.
Yeah.
And so I pitched it to match this song, and Jacob, and shout out Stout, the singer that we got, her and her homies sang so well on this, and Jacob did some arrangements, but yeah, their singing on the record is awesome. Brad Cook's one of my best friends too, and we always have he's always been so encouraging of my bass playing, and we've on the last record we had a lot of like on Haymon stuff, like we would just give the bass back and forth and try not one up each other, but like see what the other one would do with it, and we do it for hours. But so he wasn't here for this, but I was trying to just channel my best Brad.
That's sick.
And I really like it. This is the funnest bass line to play.
These lyrics destroy me. They're way too good.
They're very real.
Yeah, I remember like, even though I mean it was obviously like basically all LA, but it's still getting like some of those finishing April-based touches. Like I remember we tracked some drums. I think you did some more slide.
Yeah.
We were back out there.
Oh, and like mixing the record too, like
Sean Everett.
Sean Everett, the god. You know, it's the only one that we sent to him.
Yeah.
But he, because David Wrench did half the record and Spike did the other, and it's really the first time I've sent stuff out. But Sean crushed this mix so hard.
Dude, I text him like every 3 weeks, being like, "Dude, the front mix is insane." Because I remember with everything else, we had just spent so much time with it that it got this kind of like massage and polish. And
but From was late, and so we were kind of sprinting.
Yeah, and I was like, "Dude, can you just we love like basically where it's at, but can you just make it, whatever you do, just make it sound like a band or whatever." Yeah. And I remember him sending it back, and it was like, boom, it like brought me into the rest of the record so well. I mean, that's like, we'll never get over his mix.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Asher was doing some generative mining of music, and he found this one loop, and I literally just listened to this "I'll Be There" loop. It wasn't a song yet until Danielle came through.
Yeah.
But I would just listen to it for hours during COVID. I would just like have a little J, a couple of beers, and I would just walk around the woods, and I would blast it through the woods, and I would just listen to it over and over again. But this is like low key one of my faves.
It's so good.
And it was so hard to get this right. But
I know. I remember we changed the chords and stuff, and like went in a variety of different directions.
And this is when we went to get Corey. And Mono, Dwayne, who's just one of my favorite musicians.
Just so sick.
And shout out Danielle. I mean, she just in her classic way just was like, "I'll be there." I was like, "Oh, there it is."
Just felt so good and right on this.
There's the song.
Yeah, making these drums too was so fun.
Oh, it's so hard though. It was so much
because this was kind
editing.
of like off gritty too.
Yeah, it's like very like, it's in a tempo, but it's really, really behind the beat. And it's like kind of hard to edit.
Yeah. I know the song. It has all these like little parts and things that like come up and poke out and like, but it really makes up this like beautiful, just groovy ass bed.
Oh, the big dude.
Yeah.
You and I were like so hyped on those guys, and they're like, we do this shit every day.
Mono and Corey.
Mono and Corey, and yeah. We were like, whoa, and they're like, it's cool, man.
Like, yeah, it's like whatever.
I remember Dwayne was like, it's cool.
Yeah.
And this is the one that Stout and her singers.
Yeah. Oh my God. Bodied.
Absolutely bodied. Alan, it's one of the only things we kept of his from this, but like it just makes the whole song, his little guitar riff.
That was so perfect. Is Lewis's dad on this? I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we ended up using the horns, but Lewis, that was his like line.
Yeah.
He just like made that up, and then Mono copied it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, recording all this percussion stuff.
It's my best tambourine skills.
Air shaker.
Yeah. Air shaker's the best air instrument if you ever want to try it at home. Like, it beats the shit out of air guitar, air drums.
No,
just kind of like a.
Yeah.
If you pull that out at a bar, I
Sometimes
know
you go egg.
Yeah. So this is during the same time that when you'd asked me like, would you want to make music with Danielle?
Yeah.
And I was like, that was my favorite record of the last 5 years. Like, get here.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really had anybody out during. So you guys all came out together or separately, but then there's this massive
I think I came
snowstorm.
like the night before.
Yeah. And then we started this, and this. I mean, this is hard to not think about the record without this song.
Oh my God.
And it was just like really like we had made Peaceful Love and stuff before, but this really when we knew that we had a record going.
Totally.
The way that it was one of the, we had a lot of fun over the years, but those 4 days with just the three of us, because there was nobody else could come over.
Right.
Andre would just like drop food off. It was so freezing. It was so beautiful, and so much snow had come, and we were like stuck there.
Yeah.
You guys were gonna stay at a hotel, but then we all just had to like crash in the little house.
Totally. I'm so glad we did.
Yeah. It's hard for me to get through this one really without getting emo.
Yeah. Now I remember with this though, it was so fun just chopping up like that little kind of rhythm of the claps and like hats and snare and stuff. And just with the stab sample, the bing, bing, bing.
Mm-hmm. And you just started that by yourself, and then I was like, "There's a song in there." Like, and then I just stared playing.
Yeah, I can't remember. Was it Nashville or Rubber Bridge then next? Or maybe I don't know, but it just felt.
Oh, I think the first thing was that riff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right.
With the rubber.
But then the verse, the just arpeggiating Rubber Bridge, the breakdown was so good.
You guys did have to clean that up a lot, though. But
it was so nice.
I mean, because it was an accident, because Danielle and I were just both like riffing over the top of it. And then the next part where she's singing, where we were both singing, I accidentally had them both up, and I was like, oh shit, I could hear the duet. Yeah. Like I wanted to do the George Jones, Tammy Wynette version of.
And it's incredible. Just the way both your voices and harmonies interact is just insane. It's so perfect and right.
That part.
Yeah. And then we obviously can't even hear the song without mentioning Moose. I remember him just bringing in those strings, and I was just like,
it's hard to talk about, man. I mean, this was, Rob and I, he's got to be he's my favorite collaborator. I mean, we just created such a language over the years, and like he hadn't been there in a long time. I'm getting emotional now. Yeah. But we just like hugged and just cried. I don't know, just like when he arrived. And then like let alone as I was sitting, I remember he did all these strings on it, and I just like lost my mind. But I was hearing these like edits to it. Yeah. So I was like, well, let me just like edit it, and then you redo it. But then we like kept some of it. But I remember like editing it, and I couldn't barely see the screen because my face was just like swollen. I was sobbing. Yeah. But I just like couldn't stop editing it. And, like, I mean, I love him.
Yeah, I mean, he was the best. I remember too him just laying those on and just like how much it did for the song. 'Cause I remember there were all these like keyboards like and stuff I did doing the chords in LA, and then he came in with those strings and it was just like, oh wait, mute all of that, and the strings just carried everything. And just like when you have a part, I just love that, a part that's like that good that you can just like mute like half of what's going on. I mean, those moments are just like my favorite. I remember just doing that and it opening up the song so much. You know, I love those drums too, and even like the attempt with Sean.
Oh yeah, the drums at the end of If Only I Could Wait. Those are that's my favorite break of yours on the record. But it sounded like Sean. Yeah. And so I was always like, well, that we can have Sean replay that. I was like, well, no, we can't change that. But you got obsessed with the idea. We made Sean play that same beat for like an hour. And then you edited it for 8 hours. And the whole time, I didn't have the heart to tell you. I was like, there's no way we're going to use it. It was good, but like we couldn't beat that break sound. I mean, it would be nice to see him play that on that song one day.
I mean, that was purely just like fun, if nothing else. God. I know he crushed that.
Yeah, we set up a whole like editing suite for you. I was like, I don't want to, and you're like, I want to. And here's the finale. I mean, this is my favorite Bon Iver song. I've said that a few times. And Sean Carey is the best band. You know, I don't know if I've ever told this story out, so I want to tell it. But like, the Sean Carey story of being in Bon Iver is like, I met him in a very funny way that we can't talk about, but he when I put out For Emma on MySpace, he checked it out, and I knew he was a great drummer in Eau Claire. He was like 19 years old at the time. He came to my first show at the coffee shop Racy's in Eau Claire, where I was like trying to figure out, I was playing these Bon Iver songs for the first time, and he showed up, and he's like, I was like, hey, Sean, right? And he's like, yeah. I really like the new record, man, that you put up on MySpace. He's like, yeah. He's like, look, I brought my drums. I've been listening to the record, and I like know some harmonies on the record. I've just been listening to it a lot. Do you want me to play? And he's not. If you knew Sean Carey, he's not like a guy that's like pushing or hustling.
No,
like he's just trying to fish.
The literal opposite.
This guy's just trying to go fishing. Yeah. But he was so like confident in it, and I couldn't and so. He just showed up. We had never played together. We had never rehearsed together. And we just played the whole album together without ever doing it. And he played every single Bon Iver show since, -1 when his third child was born.
Crazy.
So I just think he's just so amazing. So the story behind this song, just kind of Sean delivering me to myself in a lot of ways. He had done a session with Eli Teplin, and again, I had never met him at this point. Yeah. They had done a session at Brian Joseph's house in Eau Claire, and they just wrote this instrumental. Yeah. And Sean's like, I think you'd like this. You know, they'd probably done hundreds of songs. Yeah. He never showed me any of it. He doesn't, so I'm not trying to be up in my business or something. He's just like, so he just showed it to me. He's like, I think you'd like this. And he was so insanely right that like, the lyrics just, they were there, the melody, they were all just like inside the song. Yeah. And like, it was so freeing to like not have to write the music, just to have something that felt so immediate to me come out of that. And so we, obviously we worked on it and re-recorded a lot of stuff, but it's just my favorite. It's just my favorite.
Perfect. It's so simple.
Yeah.
And remember too, I think in some of those first like proper sessions we did and like, producing it out, we tried redoing the demo. Yeah. And it just wasn't it,
We went back to
with Eli on keys, Sean on drums, and Lewis on bass. And it just,
Yeah, we went back.
It's just so...
Greg and Rob's strings on multiple songs on the record together are so cool. It's one of those rare things where, like, I think Rob even did some strings after we edited Greg's steel, and they, like, link up and do things, and the bass goes with it, and...
Yeah. They're so
a lot of good together. When we would go check the mixes in the car, just, like, rolling around Wisconsin, listening together, all the songs were great, but something about this one I'm so proud of.
Dude, it's incredible. It's so pure and honest and open.
Yeah.
just effortless.
It's sort of like, whatever, not to shrink it too much, but it's like, it's that kind of classic, there's a rhythm. It's kind of like the parts of the album that are sort of like my take on like what I think classic is or something.
Yeah, totally.
Or just like kind of bass line, or I always said basic bitch. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but like it was like, let's just do the basic thing, the simple thing for once.
Totally.
So our record started to become so ornate and hard to play.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's literally.
I have to shout out Ilse Juber, one of the best songwriters in the world.
Yeah.
She helped me get that line, and I love you, Ilse. That line, Palm and Gold.
Yeah.
I remember I was just showing her the record. I was like, yeah, I was gonna ask you if you help me on some lyrics. And the whole song was like about me like maybe moving to California.
Right.
And she's like, how about the land of palm and gold?
Yeah.
And I just like, I was like, what? So she
perfect.
just, and you know, her shout out to Tobias too and everyone else that helped with lyrics on the record. But
Yeah. No, it's such a good line. Oh, bridge is so good.
yeah, let's stop. Such a Sam Cooke vibe.
Yeah. Again, just all this just feels so effortless, just so natural,
Yeah.
just so like at peace, you know. I just love all the Moog filtering
Yeah.
of the beat. We did.
I mean, yeah. You don't make music to be proud of it.
No.
You make it to, I think I make it because I want it to be heard, and I think we have things to share as human beings, right?
Yeah.
But it's not about me. Like, even the songs about me, it's about like trying to find a feeling that you can share with people that we could find common ground on. But I am really, my favorite lyric I've ever wrote, I think, is that I'm proud of is because you really are a babe.
Yeah.
It's just like it said everything I needed to say right then.
It's so good, and it's so funny too because it's such a simple line. Like there's nothing like glamorous, fancy, like anything about it. It's just so right there, and it's the lyric too that like so many of our friends, just like other artists and writers, I just have so much respect for and stuff. It's all their favorite line on the record. It's everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, remember how perfect these acoustics were on there.
I can't believe there wasn't acoustic on it.
I know, it's nuts. Like that's like a really last minute addition.
Yeah. Yeah. And like
Space Echo.
Space Echo, yeah. Yeah, it's totally the last song. I just didn't want the outro to be you have to listen to it every time you wanted to listen to There's a Rhythm.
Yeah.
Hence Au revoir, and it was like one of the last times the band got together
Right.
to rehearse.
Right.
We also just like did some tracking.
Right.
And so much of for a bunch of years, we have hours of like ambient improv.
Yeah.
The six of us, Fitzy and Matt, Sean, Lewis, Jen, and I. And so this last track, really, that's the basis to it all. There's a little you playing piano.
Yeah.
There's a little,
Some CS.
there's like,
A reface CS.
well, there's the guitar.
Oh my God!
synth,
Yeah, of course.
Which I don't know if anybody's ever heard. If you've never heard John Martin, the
Small Hours.
British song, or is he Irish?
I think he's Scottish.
One of the three.
Yeah.
But he made a great record.
Wait, is he Scottish? I feel like he's Scottish. Or maybe I'm tripping. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're tripping. He's from
He's
Nebraska.
actually American.
Yeah. No, he made a record where he did like a guitar solo where he recorded it over a lake, and there's like geese in the recording on Small Hours. We also like sampled that song, but we never did anything with it. But
Do you think he
that
was
was like that was the inspiration for this whole like that little thing in the background.
Yeah.
And we actually like went out to a lake or to the pond and recorded shit over it, but it was just like all you could hear was like the water running.
Yeah, it's like,
But
do you think he was so hammered recording that?
I hope so. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Pond in Scotland.
That song on LSD is one of the best experiences you can have on repeat. Not this song. We're talking about John Martin. But yeah, it's pretty crazy to like encapsulate 5 years of work and
Yeah.
friendship.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man.
41 minutes of music.
Yeah.
This album and like going out to April Base for me just like became just a home for me. And like with Andra and Evan and the cats, of course. But just like it was like this kind of like pilgrimage each time, and just like the sense of comfort I think we all felt together, and just the like camaraderie of you and I, and then Ian and Asher, and like everyone else that came in and out. It was really kind of this, just the making of the record just felt like this home with like a strong gravitational pull, you know, both like physically and just emotionally and spiritually. It's like, I don't know, I miss it a lot,
Yeah.
you know.
That's where we gotta start some new shit.
And get it back going.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone at home. Make sure to bring the DVD back to Blockbuster or whatever.
Yeah. No late fees or Hollywood Video.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Cut.